Hello and welcome to Tuesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic on a bitterly cold day. Winter has definitely arrived. I ventured outside for a couple of hours this morning and it was perishing. Actually, the speed at which my fingers are moving, well, it wouldn't make for any good guitar playing today, let me tell you. Anyway, that is by the by. What are we going to be trying to solve today? We're going to have a look at Bread and Pie by the great and slightly terrifying Myxo. Myxo is an extraordinary solver and setter, and I love Myxo's puzzles. This one has a really unusual rule set. We're going right back to our roots in terms of variant Sudoku. There's a lot of sandwich Sudoku clues outside the grid, and yeah, it is 9 by 9. I was going to say, but again, as we've had a couple of puzzles recently with no regions given, and we're going to have to build the regions today to try and solve this one. And there's a concept of pie as well, but it's not mathematical pie. It's sort of the filling that you might get in a real pie. Anyway, I'll explain all this in a moment or two. This has got some of the most incredible comments on it, this puzzle, that you'll ever find. Maverick, that didn't take long. Oh, it would be bitterly cold to be in a Maverick plane today. But we're about to get visited by a low-flying aeroplane. But look at some of these comments here. Everyone is saying that, Maze Gator says it's a shame that very nice has become the default rating for puzzles on the portal because this one deserves distinction. Piatatu says very, very tasty, thanks. The two Josephson brothers, who are phenomenal setters and solvers in their own right, say great puzzles. Jesper says great. CC must be chaos construction, I guess. So yeah, I think we're in for a real treat today, and I will read you the rules in a moment or two's time. But I'm recording this slightly later, not only because of my jaunt outside earlier on today, but also because we were up so late last night. I was so out of it this morning because we did a stream and it didn't finish until something like 1:45 in the morning. We were visiting the Blueprints mansion. And it was fascinating, as it always is. Incredible, and I won't spoil any progress we may or may not have made, but do check out the VOD if you weren't able to join us on the live stream, and thank you very much for those of you who were able to do so. We had a blast as always, and of course we will be returning to it probably next Monday. I will confirm that as soon as I can. Any other news? Just the thing we've been mentioning over the last couple of weeks, we've got our competition still running over there on Patreon. 7 puzzles to solve there. Let's do a quick refresh. My computer, have I got some wood to touch? Yeah, I'll touch wood. Touch that. That's basically wood as well. Oh, I forgot to look where we were. 810 anyway is where we're on. I think we weren't at 810 yesterday, but my computer has worked overnight. So let's keep our fingers crossed that I don't run into any internet troubles such as I had yesterday. And very well done to the 1,500 of you who've solved any of the puzzles at all. Phenomenal work. There's still 2 days left of the competition, so get cracking if you haven't started yet. And 2 days is plenty of time to finish. Only 7 puzzles. You'll definitely get through them. And this is our new app as well. We're really thrilled to share this with you, because the puzzles in it are so good. It's Classic Sudoku Volume 2. It's quite unlike anything you can find apart from our original Classic Sudoku app on the App Store, because all the puzzles are handmade, and they're handmade by some incredible brains. And it really is worth checking that out. There's some brand new patterns that particularly Sam Kappelman-Lyons has invented that I think you'll find interesting. So that's over on Patreon. Now let's do the birthdays. No, that's not. No, the app isn't on Patreon. The app's on the App Store, etc. But you know the drill. Now, let me look. Annabelle, it's your birthday today, and I know this because your fiance John wrote to me just in time, I might add. Well, this is cool. The two of you were born 2 weeks apart in the same hospital, and you're now engaged to be married. That is some coincidence. I will also tell you a little snippet. Mark and I, believe it or not, were born in the same hospital, 20 years apart, but so not 2 weeks apart, 20 years apart. But yeah, we were born in the same. Where was it? It was Carl Shulton, I think. I think it was Carl Shulton. I should know where I was born, shouldn't I? I think it was Carl Shulton. Anyway, Annabelle, I hope you have a great birthday. Many happy returns. I hope the chocolate cake is splendid. Next, Jennifer. Jennifer, it's your birthday today, and I know this because your boyfriend David wrote to me and said that you've really been enjoying watching the Blueprint streams. Well, thank you for doing that. I know you try to watch live every time. I'm not sure whether you were there yesterday, but thank you for watching and spending your free time with us in our sometimes inept visits to the mansion. I hope today is obviously a fantastic birthday, and I hope you get some chocolate cake that's been well iced. And then finally, Joaquin, your wife Alejandra, I think I will say, wrote to say that you watch the channel every night before bed and that you love chocolate cake. Well, you know the drill for today. I hope it's good chocolate cake. Many happy returns, and thank you so much for watching the channel. Now, with all that said and done, let's have a look at Bread and Pie by Myxo. The rules are as follows. We've got chaos construction. So it says divide the grid into regions of 9 orthogonally connected cells each, such that every cell is part of exactly one region, and then place the digits 1 to 9 exactly once in each row, column and region. So if this was a region, and this, let's do another one. Let's say that was a region, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's say that was a region. You'd have to put the digits 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every one of these coloured regions must have the digits 1 to 9 once each in them. And then you'll be good to go, except there's more rules. Sandwich. Brown clues to the left and above the grid are sandwich clues. They indicate the sum of the digits between the 1 and the 9 in that row or column. In rows and columns that have a sandwich clue, all the digits between the 1 and 9 must be in the same region, and the 1 and 9 must not belong to that region. So let's have a look at this column. So if that was, let's use red, if that was a 1 or a 9, and that was a 1 or a 9, then those cells would, so let's put 1 here. In fact, let's do it the other way around, because sometimes that's more instructive. So we don't know which order the 1 and the 9 go in. So let's do it backwards. But what you do is you find the digits between the 1 and the 9, and they have to sum, these 3 cells would have to sum to 16. But in this puzzle, we're also told that these ones, the sandwich total, the 16 total, these 3 digits would sum, well, would be part of the same region, and the 1 and the 9, would they be part of the same region or just different regions to the green region? It says they just don't belong to the green region, so I don't think these have to belong to, it's not like we have to do that. I think that all we're told is that these are not part of the green region. Is how it works. And there's only one more rule. Pi. Pi with an E. All regions that do not touch the edge of the grid are pi filling. Black clues, there's only 2 of those. Black clues below the grid indicate the sum of the digits within pi filling in that column. I mean, that is a strange rule. So let's imagine there was a 3 by 3 hidden in the middle of the grid. So this clue, or this region, doesn't touch the edge. So it meets the criteria. And then these 3 digits would sum to 17, I think. All regions that do not touch the edge of the grid are pi filling. Yeah, I think that's how it works. That's how I read it. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now, I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now, let's deal. I haven't actually done a sandwich Sudoku puzzle for quite a while. Well, actually, the last one I did was for the Wall Street Journal video. Yeah, when was that? That was quite recent. So we started to make puzzles and suggest puzzles for the Wall Street Journal, and we did a sandwich Sudoku I think last weekend, and I did a video of that, which is in a playlist. But that is a rarity. We don't do much sandwich Sudoku anymore. Are there tricks for sandwich Sudoku? Not many. If you get a sandwich clue that is over 21, then you can always say the central digit of that column has to be sandwich. And the reason for that is that imagine that you were trying to fill a 3-cell sandwich only. How would that work? Well, these 3 digits, what's the maximum they could be? And the answer would be 8, 7 and 6, because you can't use a 9 in the sandwich. And 8, 7 and 6 are 21. So if you do have a clue, as we have here, 29, and here 27, and oh no, the pi is different, isn't it? Let's not worry about the pi. So it's simply impossible for this to be a 1 or a 9, because the maximum sandwich size would be a 3-cell sandwich, and you couldn't fit 29 into it, you couldn't fit 27 into it. So these cells are definitely not 1s and 9s. And my recommendation for sandwich Sudoku is to have a colour for not 1 and 9 and a colour for 1 and 9. So I'm going to use red if I manage to get any 1s and 9s. Now, could you have a 4-cell sandwich that adds to 29? No, you couldn't, could you actually? Because imagine this was the 1 or the 9, then we could have a 4-cell sandwich. But again, because we can't include the 9, the highest those digits could be would be 8, 7, 6 and 5, which is only 26. So this is also not red. So, and that logic is symmetrical. So these 3, and 27 is still bigger than 26. So these 3 as well are also definitely not 1s and 9s. But I think a 5-cell sandwich would be possible, wouldn't it? 8, 7, 6, 5, 26 and 3. Yeah, that would work. So we can't rule this one out. So what do we do? I mean, I really don't think there is much to say about like a 12 sandwich clue. I mean, it could be a 2-digit sandwich. It could be a 3. I suppose it can't be a 4-digit sandwich. That would be true, wouldn't it? Because although you can normally make 4 digits in Sudoku sum to 12, you're always going to be using a 1 to do that. The minimum sum of 4 digits, if you don't include a 1, is 14, because 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 is 14. So we know the sandwich in this column and this column is at least 2. It's either 2 or 3 cells. Hang on. Okay, sorry. I'm going to have to check the rules again. What have I not understood about this? Oh, it's this. Okay, it's the region stuff, isn't it? That's the thing I haven't understood. So what is that saying? Yeah. Okay. So that's saying that this cell is not a 1 or a 9, I think. Because if that was a 1 or a 9, we know this is in a different region to the sandwich filling that's to come in this row. So let's say that those were the sandwich filling. And we know that in this column, the sandwich filling, which could be purple, but let's just make it green, is definitely in a different region to this. So this red cell is definitely in a different region to green. It's definitely in a different region to purple. So it would be a 1-cell region, and that's not a possibility. So that's green. Now, Yeah, that's going to be... That's a general point, isn't it? Is it? I think it is. Yeah, no. Okay, so that's a general point that applies to the corners in this puzzle. Because in all of the corners, you have sort of two sandwich clues looking at the corners. So this cell is subject to the 12 and the 27. So if this was red, I'd run into exactly the same problem. These and these couldn't be in the region with this, and it would be a one-cell region. So that's also green. That's subject to the 14 and the 29, so that's also green. This is subject to the 27 and the 29, so that is also green. Yeah, that's perfect. So this is where we look. We look at column 9. Now, what we worked out earlier is that a 4-cell sandwich is impossible. So how could this now be a 1 or a 9? If that's a 1 or a 9, the biggest sandwich we could create is a 4-cell sandwich, because this is the highest or the furthest away the other of the 1 and the 9 can be, and that's a 4-cell sandwich. It's not enough. So this is the sandwich. This is the 1 and the 9 in this column. Bobbins. We don't get... Normally you then look across and you find that you get a clue either in row 2 or row 8, but we don't here. 39. Right, and we can use the secret, which is something I only tell my very favourite people. But of course, if you're watching this video, you're definitely one of my favourite people. Now, the secret of Sudoku, which is really relevant actually for sandwich Sudoku, is the sum of a complete column or a complete row is, because a row or a column of Sudoku contains the digits 1 to 9 once each, the sum is 45. Now, why does that matter? Well, we know that the sandwich crusts, if you want to call them that, the 1 and the 9, sum to 10. We know that this middle bit of the sandwich sums to 29. So these 7 cells sum to 39, which means these 2 cells, the sort of outies as we sometimes call them in the column, have to sum to the difference between 39 and 45, which is 6. But neither of these cells can be a 1. So they have to be a 2-4 pair. Now, we've got the same thing here, haven't we? Didn't we say that 26 is the biggest 4-cell sandwich? 8, 7, 6, 5. Yeah. So it's the same. It's the same in this row. Again, if we were to try and make this the 1 or the 9, we'd have a 4-cell sandwich maximum. That's not going to work. So these 2 cells. Now I'm worried I've trapped this thing in. Have I trapped that in? I don't understand. How does this work? How does this rule work? What's it go? All the digits... Oh, okay, no, it's the digits between. Right, yeah, that's okay. So these are a region. This is just... Okay, let's... Oh, I might have to abandon my red and greening here. I'm not sure. But that region has to grow that. Okay, so actually, yeah, this is weird. These 4 cells are all in the same region. And the reason I'm seeing that is, let me just change the colour of this for a moment. These cells are definitely in a different region to the 1 and the 9 in the row. In fact, we can work out this digit now, can't we? What's this? Let's use the secret on row 9. We've got 27 in as the dark green, plus 10 is 37. So the outies, this is good. The outies sum to 8 to get us up to 45. Well, if this was a 4, this would be another 4. That's not going to work. So that's a 2, that's a 6, that's a 4. We've got 3 digits in the grid now. Yeah, and what I was thinking is, this cell, whatever it is, it's definitely not in the greens region. So how does it get out? Because these cells here, let's give those their own colour as well. Those cells are in a different region to this one. So for this and this to be in a 9-cell region, they're each going to have to take this cell, aren't they? It's no way. Otherwise, it would be trapped into this sort of 3-cell triomino. So these cells are all part of the same region. I really want to make them their own colour, actually. But then I'm going to lose my reds for the 1s and the 9s, which feels that would be wrong as well. I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether it's more important for me to track the 1s and the 9s look terrible. They sort of aren't opposite clues. Let's have a look at row 1. There's some digit here. Let's say this was a 1 or a 9. Then you could have a 2-cell sandwich, or a 3-cell sandwich, or a 4. You could have a 4. Oh no, you can't have a 4-cell sandwich because 2, 3, 4, 5 isn't available. So the sandwich in row 1 is a 2-cell or a 3-cell sandwich. That's absolutely, I don't see what that's doing. I don't think that's putting any pressure. We've got to put the sandwich and the crusts within a 7-cell region, with the sandwich itself being 2 or 3 cells. But given it can be 2 cells, you can't say that this isn't a sandwich crust. Oh, this is weird. Hang on, have I not understood the rules still? They indicate the sum of the digits. Pi. All regions that do not touch the edge of the grid are pi filling. Two, three, four, 5. Oh, good grief. Right, okay. So this is not... this is something meta. This is something meta to do with the structure of grids or something. Ooh, I hope that there isn't some theorem that says there have to be a certain number of regions that touch the edge of a Sudoku grid. Yeah, this is weird, actually. Okay, there is something that Myxo has built into this to do with how many regions. Maybe it's not general, but maybe it's because we've got sandwich clues in these 2 columns that are sort of that the effect of a sandwich clue in this puzzle, certainly for example in row 1, is it plonks, it sort of splits the row into 3, doesn't it? So what do I mean by that? Let me just paint in some red cells. These 2 cells are clearly in their own region that is not party to this region and not party to this region by rule. So hang on, so what's going on here? So we've got at least 3 regions there, at least 3 regions there, at least 3 regions there, and at least 3 regions there. And I think that is right to say at least 3 regions, because even if I stretch this out somehow and I was to make a really compact region here, that's the most compact you can ever make a region, you can't surround this compact region with a 9-cell region. We've looked at this before on the channel. You just run out of space to do it. So you need 4 to get round the side of this, you need 4 to get down that side, and then you need 3 to bridge it. So you need 11 cells to encase this region, which means these two sandwich. There is simply no way that the sandwich clues in row 1, wherever we put them, can be part of the same region, because you can't stretch the region around the 9-cell region that must be part of a separate region that sits between them within the sandwich. So now there's something weird going on here, because now, oh yeah, but you could join those up, couldn't you? So yeah, okay, so here is the layered thinking that I'm trying to go through. There are at least 2 regions in the middle of this puzzle that don't ever touch the grid, touch the edge of the grid. And we can see that because there's a 17 here and a 23 here. Now the secret tells us that, let's imagine these were in the same region, then that's 40's worth of the 45 digits that are in that region, that single region. But there's 3 cells. So imagine there's a region here and there's a region here, and we're claiming somehow that these are the same region. Well, to join that single region together, you're going to need 3 cells to do the bridge. And even if these were minimumed, 1, 2 and 3, they would add up to 6. So plus 17 plus 23 is 46. That's not possible to include within a single region. So there's at least 2 regions in this puzzle that live in the middle of it somewhere. At least 2. And yet, in the perimeter, because of the sandwich clues, on the face of it, you've got at least... We haven't got 12 because these 2 can join together. But do you see what I mean? You've got 1 there. Yeah, let's start the count with green here. 1. This one. Let's just flash that yellow for a moment. That's 2. That is definitely a different region from green and purple. 3. This region, which could be the start, could be the same as this region. So let's join those together. 4. There's going to be 2 red cells in column 1, but these could join together in their own region. So hang on, I've lost count now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't have... Yeah, this is it. This is how to explain it as well. I can't have more than 2 more regions in the perimeter. I can't, because I've got 5 regions I've just sketched out in the most absurd and sketchy way ever. Because, I don't know where these regions start, end. I just know that it's impossible to have less than 5 regions in the perimeter space that I've drawn here. And the only way I can get to 5 regions is if I actually say that this 109, which I know is in a different region to its sandwich filling, is actually connected to this 109. So this is some region over here. I mean, if these were in different regions, I'd actually have 6 regions by the time I got from here to here. But I could achieve 5 like this in some way. Now, I know there's at least 2 in the middle. That's 7. There are 9 regions in a Sudoku. So I've got some sandwich filling here. I've got some sandwich filling here. And I know that these 2 are definitely in different regions to these. So the panoply of digits that is made up of that section of the perimeter cannot be responsible. It's impossible for it to be responsible for more than 2 regions. How on earth are we going to do that? And the only way I think that we can do that, yeah, this is Myxo is a genius. Myxo is a genius. Because what Myxo has realised is that it is possible for this part of the grid to only cater for 2 regions. And that is, if you put a 3x3 in the corner, so let me just delete everything here. Let's say that was a region in the corner. Then it is possible for the sandwich... this is hard to show. I mustn't use this colour. This is hard to show. Apologies. I'm trying to do this diligently. What I'm saying is, imagine that this. Imagine that. Then you've got a region that starts here and a region that starts there going south that could join up round the edge of this 9-cell region. And that, yeah, this is so exquisitely done. It's absolutely forced. Why is it absolutely forced? Why couldn't? Because you might say, oh well, you could have done that shape, for example. Let's do that. And I'm going to say no, you can't, because this is less efficiently packed. So let's count how many cells it would take to join this region. The red would move down to here in this instance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you might say, well, that's fine, Simon. No, it's not. It's not fine. Why isn't it fine? Because I know that the sandwich stretch in this row is at least 2 cells long. And I know the sandwich stretch in column 1 is at least 2 cells long. So the maximum, so I'm going to have, say, 2 there, I'm going to have 2 there, and then I'm going to have something that joins these 2 dominoes together. And I've got 5 cells to do it. And there is simply no way you can do better than to pack this like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I could have this V pentomino joining. Let's use a colour here. So we could do that. How could we do it any other way? And we know that the sandwich total here, the internal part of the sandwich in row 1, the internal part of the sandwich in column 1, and the sandwich crusts, which we are told by rule are in a different region to these. We can't do this in less than 2 regions. We can't. We can only just do it in 2. And we mustn't do it in more than 2, because if we did, although that would be the very natural thing to do, the pi clues are going to break. So this is how you break into the puzzle. It's absolute genius. It is not of me, hasten to add, but it's totally wonderful, an idea from Myxo. Now, what we should do, let's go to the thingy tool, is we can draw thingies round the grid. We can start delineating how it works. Okay, so that is a region. This is a region. Sort of a Loch Ness monster. Now, and the other thing, hang on, we're going to have to be really careful here. I'm going to just delete yeah, I'm going to have to get rid of my original colorings, I'm afraid. I'm going to get rid of them. And I'm going to instead start to colour regions. That's what I'm going to focus on. So I know that this is some region in the bottom right of the grid. We talked about that. I know this is definitely in its own region. This is definitely in its own region. Now, in terms of the 14 clue, yeah, that's going to be a 1 or a 9. That's going to be a 1 or a 9. And this domino is going to sum to 14, and it doesn't involve 9, so it is 6 and 8. And then in this column, we're going to have a 1 or a 9 here. We're going to have a 1 or a 9 here, so the 15 clue might be important in a moment. And these two cells sum to 12, but they don't use the digit 8, because 8 would then repeat in the blue region. They don't use the digit 9, so they're 5, 7. And okay, so now, well, the other thing we know, of course, is the only way that we could do this is by connecting the 1s and 9s in the perimeter that were here and here and here and here in their own region. So there is another region that's doing this, and there's another region that's doing this. Let's pick a good colour for this one. I might use lime actually, because these greens are quite far apart. And okay, so we can draw some lines in here. We can draw some lines in here. And now, can I click the clues? No, it won't let me do it. I was wondering if I could sort of tick them off once I'd used them. Yeah, and there's going to be two regions in the middle of the puzzle that have to give rise to these pi clues at the bottom. Oh, hang on. Wait a sec. How does this clue work? Because this 12 clue, we know that the sandwich crust is in a different region to the crust, which is going to have to live there at least. It could be more cells. Same is true there, isn't it? Look, we've got another, so there's another region here, but I don't know whether or not, or do I actually? Okay, hang on. There's at least a 2-cell region here that is part of this 15 clue. Okay, here is a question that might be valid. What region is that a party to? Let me just give that a colour. Let's make it indigo. Is it possible that indigo is actually in the green region? I don't think so. Because if it was, we've had 2 cells here, 5 cells here. So the only way of connecting this would be to make these green and make these green. But you can see that's trapped in my red region. My red region can't get to size 9 anymore. So that is definitely not correct. So what can this join to? It can't join to that. It's far too many cells. It can't join to this. It's far too many cells. It can't join to that. So this is a new region. And that makes sense because it's contributing to my 17 total. So this is one of the pi regions. Now, what does that mean? That's a good question. I don't know. If that was 7, 8, this would be a 1 or a 9. Oh, hang on, I've got to be careful. It's this column, isn't it? Oh, no, well, hang on, is it? Yes, I think it is, actually. I think it's this column. That's where I'm meant to look. Because what I've realised is I can't put a 1 or a 9 here, because then the sandwich filling is meant to be in a different region from that 1 or 9, so that's not going to work. The earliest in this column you can put a 1 or a 9 is here. Now what would happen if you didn't put it here? Well, then you could put it here, but a 16 sandwich total is an interesting creature. No jokes. No jokes. It's far more interesting than I am at parties. Far more interesting. And this is why. Because if you try and do a 2-cell sandwich, you can't do it, can you? Because the only way of making 2 Sudoku digits add up to 16 is with 7 and 9, very specifically. But if the sandwich crusts are 1 and 9, you can't fill the sandwich itself with 7 and 9. So 16 is at least a 3-cell sandwich. So if this is the 1 or the 9, you put a 3-cell sandwich in, the 1 or the 9 would have to go here in row 9. That doesn't work. We've already had the 1 and the 9 in row 9. So this is a 1 or a 9. That's the sandwich. And that's a 1 or a 9. So those 3 digits sum up to 16. Now, does that mean that they are indigo? Or could they be the 9th region? And the answer to that is, I mean, it looks like they have to be this one, doesn't it? Yeah, they do. They do. Imagine they weren't. Yeah. If they are not indigo, we have to assign them a colour, these 3 cells. What colour should we make it? Well, there's no way they can be red. Because if these are red, well, they just can't be red, actually. They can't reach. Those are 8 cells. Now, they could be green if this was green, but that won't work because there's now definitely not enough room to make indigo 9 cells large. It's only got an 8 cell, or let alone expand red to be 9 cells large in total. So this would have to be, it can't reach yellow, it can't reach pink, and it can't reach lime. So this would be the 9th region. I've only got the colour black for that. But again, this doesn't work, does it? Because in order to grow indigo to be of size 9, it's going to have to take this cell. And that's going to trap in red. Red couldn't possibly be 9 cells large. So I think that we have proved that that is indigo. Which means this is indigo. There we go, I've got 7 cells of indigo. Well, hang on. Okay. Oh, look, this is absolutely glorious, isn't it? Of course. This cell, I know this isn't indigo by rule, and I know it's not red, because red's already had a 1 and a 9 in it. Red needs 4 more cells, so they must be those cells, and red is finished. Oh, Myxo, you are a very, very clever person. So this is a forced. Does that one have to be green, do you think? It can't be yellow. Yellow's already had a 1 and a 9. Maybe. I'm not sure. And where... Oh, no, it's not. It's broken. Oh, no, it's not broken. I thought I'd broken it. I haven't broken it. I was going to say, how do we achieve a pie filling of 17 in this column? And I suddenly thought I can't put 8, 9 here because I assumed I'd already got a 1, 9 pair in the column, but I haven't. It's okay. Yeah, look at this column. The rules tell us that these 2 cells, which are part of indigo, which is one of the 2 regions in the puzzle that never touch the perimeter, these have to sum to 17. The only way of making 2 Sudoku digits sum to 17 is with 8, 9, if they have to be different. So this is now 1, this is 9, this is 1, this is 9, this is 1, this is 9, this is 1, this is 9. There's probably a lot more we can do with that. I don't know the sandwich total for this. Oh, hang on. 15. If I make that the 9, this cell would have to be a 15. That's not going to work. So we've got to do that. Now, this is interesting. This is interesting. How big can this sandwich be? We've got the 1 here. We know that all of this, the 15, however long this section is all part of indigo. Now if it goes to here, these 3 digits have to sum to 7 without using a 1. Well, the only way of making 3 Sudoku digits that have to be different sum to 7 is with 1, 2, 4, so that's impossible. So this is the 9, which unfortunately doesn't tell us its colour. That 9 means this is a 1, which means that's a 9. So we've got all the high digits, look, in blue. So these other digits are 1, 2, 3 and 4. We can get rid of a 1 from there and a 1 from here. And a 1 from here, I suppose. Right, so I get a 1 in blue, but I have no sandwich clue for row 4, so or column 2. And these 2 digits have to sum up to 7. And they're not 1, 6, so they're either 2, 5 or 3, 4. And these 3 digits have to sum up to 16, and they don't use 9 and they don't use 8. Yeah, so imagine they didn't use 7. Then the maximum these 3 digits could be would be 6, 5, 4, which only add up to 15. So one of those is a 7 for sure. And then 2 digits adding up to 9, which are not going to be 1, 8 or 2, 7. So it's either 3, 6, 7 or 4, 5, 7. I was hoping I was going to understand which of those it was, but I don't think I do. Okay, so maybe that's not where we look now. So the 12 clue, this is a start of a 12 clue. Again, it's the same, but it's so beautiful. Right, what colour? I know this isn't lime green because of the rule. There's a 12 clue in this column somewhere. Now, what region is this party to? It could, in theory, just about have been part of purple, but then lime green couldn't be 9 cells large, so it's not part of purple. It's too far away from yellow, it's too far away from green, it's too far away from indigo. Certainly to complete indigo within 9. So this is the 9th region that we have not yet thought through. Oh, aha. And this cell can't be a 1 or a 9. So we are looking at a 3-cell sandwich, and we can't look at a 4-cell sandwich for a 12 because it won't, once you can't include 1 in the sandwich, it won't work. So we're looking, so there's a 3-cell stretch of sandwich here. I don't know whether that can be 3, 4, 5. It might be able to be. I'm sort of trying to look at it and work out what's what, but I don't think I can do it. Right. So what on earth do we do now? I think it's going to probably be about 1s and 9s. I seem to have a lot of 1s. How many 1s have I got in the grid? 7. Where are the remaining 1s? They are in those 2 cells and these 2 cells. So the 1s are in that little arrangement. Now, and I know this one is definitely not. Oh, see, that could be a pink. Pink hasn't got a 1 in it. Okay, all right, we're going to do this. We're going to pencil mark 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. I know that isn't 7. That isn't 8. This isn't. No, this probably wasn't what I should have done. What about those? 3, 5, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's not 8. Now I don't have enough digits, do I, to really do Sudoku yet? Okay, let's check 9s. 9s, I've also got 7 9s. So where are the 9s that I've got to put in? I've got to put a 9 in row 2. And I think that's in one of those cells. Now that's quite an interesting creature. Because that 9 can't be lime, can it? Although purple or pink hasn't had a 9 either. And it looks like there's a 9 to come in one of those two as well, in row 7. So we've sort of got an X-wing of 9s and an X-wing of 1s left to place. And presumably, I don't know what to do here. Where do we think, or how do we think this is going to work? What colour's this? I think the options, it's a 1, so it's not yellow. It looks like it has to be green to me. But I'm just wondering if it could be the black region. 1, 2, 3. Okay, the moment we went... No, it can't be the black region, because the moment this cell is black, those two will also be black. Oh, in fact, here's a point. The indigo region only has 2 cells left to get. So it can't go higher than this cell, can it? So these two have to be black. Nothing else can reach them. Now, how do we do this then? Oh, I see. Oh no, I'm wrong. I was going to say, erroneously, that I need to put a 1 in indigo, and therefore it had to be here. Now it could be there, that is true. If those two are both indigo, that would work, but I didn't realise it could be here, I think. That might be possible as well. Yeah, that's actually not possible. That's really hard to see, but it's quite beautiful. It's so beautiful, I sort of want to make that argument. Yeah, I'm going to do that because this is glorious, actually. This is glorious. Okay, I think this could well be what Myxo intended. If this was the one that we need to put in indigo, let's just make that indigo for a moment. The question that I think arises is, what's the colour of this cell? Now, indigo can no longer reach this cell. And nothing else can get here, no other colour other than black. So this is now a black digit. And then, because this is the indigo 1, the last 1 in the grid is here. Now, we know that this 1 is not allowed to be the black 1, so this is going to be the black 1. But can you see the problem with the pi now? Because the pi has to have, well, if this was a 1, it's still got to have 3 more black cells in this column to reach a total of 22. You can't do 22 in 2 cells, so there's going to be too many black cells in this column to complete a 9-cell region. It's just putting too much pressure on this column here. So I don't think that is the one that indigo gets, which means the only one indigo can get is this one. So that completes our friendly neighbourhood indigo, like that. And now this cell is black. Oh dear, I hope this isn't going to go wrong anyway. Yeah, because now, well, now Now we've got a different problem, which is that to complete indigo, I need 3 more cells, and they're all going to have to be in this column, and they're all going to have to be 6, 8, and 9, aren't they? So this column, yeah, so this is going to unwind the 9 X-wing. Because if this was 9 in column 7, we couldn't get that into black, and it must be in black in this column because there is very specifically a 3-cell, I don't know whether it's contiguous or not, but there is a 3-cell segment of black in this column that is 6, 8, 9. And so if that's the 9, it won't work. So that is the black 9, definitely, which means that's a 9, which limits yellow. So yellow now has to come this way. This digit now is indisputably green. Okay, and what does green need? Does green need an... Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Does green need a 9? It does need a 9. Green... Ah, this is it. Maybe this I could have done this in a different order, but green needs a 9. Where does it get it from now? There's only one that it's got 3 cells left to place in green, so it can't get that one. So it must be these 2, and then the only way of connecting green up is like that. So that's how green works. These 2 squares are 2 and 6, I'm going to claim. So that's a 6 at the top of the grid. That's an 8. That might do something. I'm trying to work it out. Okay, we can delineate green. That's finished. Now this digit is purple, it hasn't got a 9 yet, so that needs to be a 9. So we can get rid of 9 from here. Now, okay, where are we putting the black 1? Maybe that, again, I'm not sure if I'm asking these questions in the absolutely perfect order, but I think I'm getting round to them in the end. And that's sort of, if the black 1 was here, again, there would be too many. We know the only digits in this column for black are 6, 8, and 9, so that's simply not going to work, is it? That's got to be 1. So this has got to be the 1. And I think that's got to be purple then. Purple hasn't had a 1, and there's no other place it can get a 1 from. So yellow has to come round the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yellow is finished. Yellow comes round the corner like that. Oh, look, lime green has to get out. So that's lime green. That's lime green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, it can't. It must take this cell. Otherwise, it's going to block off black from reaching its 9-cell target. So that's definitely lime green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It can't get there, so that's pink or purple. Now, this is a bit weird. This can't be a 3 by 3 box because nothing could get to that cell. Yeah, that's the way to do it. I've got 8 cells of lime green. I've got 8 cells of purple. Neither of those can get to this cell. So that's got to be a black cell, and the only way to connect it is like that, which makes this lime green, and that's completed our colours. That is absolutely unbelievable. Good grief. Right, let's make sure I got into trouble the other day because I missed out one line segment in a chaos construction. I didn't mean to, but I did. Okay. Now what do you think we do? That is the question. So, I tell you what we can do. That's a 6-8 pair. So that's certainly something we need to do because we know this needed to have 23 for its pi clue. Is that somehow resolving things? Those 2 digits are 2 and 4 to complete pink. Wow. Okay, that didn't really help me. So there must be clues left that I haven't used up properly. Which is, that's a distressing thought, isn't it? Right, so which clues have we not used? We haven't used... Well, I haven't finished that 15 clue, where I need 2 digits that add up to 7. Which, not sure if I'm meant to know what they are, to be honest. I've got this 12 clue, which I haven't used at all. Oh, I've got a 16 clue here as well, haven't I? Oh yeah, okay, so this... Is that going to work? So I need two digits here that add up to 9, as well as the 7 that I know is in here. So that can't be a 2, because that would require another 7. So this is 3, 4, 5. If that's not 2, this isn't 5. 8 in this column has just been placed forever, and I haven't spotted that, so that's unsurprising. That's a pure Sudoku oversight. We've definitely got all our 1s, have we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've definitely got all our 9s. Yes, I think we do on both of those counts. Oh goodness, I'm not sure. Have I forgotten a rule? That's very possible, isn't it? Or it's going to be a regular Sudoku of all things, which is a terrifying prospect. Where do you think we look? I'm not sure, actually. It could be law of leftovers type stuff. We could start to look at that. Sort of, I'm mulling over the possibilities and failing miserably to see the easy wins, I suspect. Right, where can we look? Let's try and work this out. Have I used all of the clues? That I've got a 5, 7 here. I've got 2, 3, 4 here. I don't think I can do this one, but maybe that's wrong. What have I got so far in this box? I've got 24 plus another 12. That's 36. So I know these 2 digits there. That could be important. Yeah, these 2 digits add up to 45 minus 36, which is 9. Now they're not 1, 8, they're not 2, 7, and they're not 3, 6 because of this. So they are 4, 5. Good grief. So that's not 4, 5. And that's going to help me. Good Lord. Okay, so this is now 2, 2, 3, 7 by Sudoku. So this cell at the bottom is a 4 or a 5. But I think the other interesting cell is this one, which in the column has to be 3 or 7, but 7 is definitely in Indigo's 16 sum, so that is a 3. So this isn't a 3. This is now a 7 at the bottom of the grid. It might not do as much as I was hoping it was going to do. But that 3 is good for the 15 clue now. Because the 15 clue needed 7 more, which can't be 3, 4 now. So this has got to be 5, 2, and what's more, I know the order. So that's 5 and that's 2. And now this clue, I see it all gets resolved. It's beautiful again. Because now I need a 4 to get to my 16. I think so. I think this has got to be 4, 7. And that, of course, is going to give me this digit, which is now a 6. And that 6 means that's a 6, and that's an 8. So this is an 8, and this isn't 6. No, that doesn't work. Where's 6 in orange? It's in one of 2 places, I think. So it's nearly good, but not quite good enough. The 4 in normal blue is now here. And this is a 2-3 pair. This 4 does 4 and 5 and 5 and 7. So this isn't 7, this isn't 5. This must be done. Yeah, there's a 7 here, look. 7, 7, 4, 2, 4. Come on. Oh, hang on. Let me just go back there. I was trying to take 7 out of this and failed miserably. Lost my army. Okay, what about that row? That digit can't be 5. That digit can't be 7. So it's at 2, 3, and 8. Oh, well, that's okay. That's 3 or 8. Where's 2 in this row? Seems to have to be here. So that becomes 3, 7. That can't be 5 now. So in this row we need 3, 6 and 7. And that's a naked single. It sees a 3, 7 pair, so that's got to be 6. So 6, 3, 7, 8, 3. Let's take the 8 out of here, the 8 out of here, the 3 out of here, the 3 out of here. Oh, I'm not sure where the best place to look is here. I could use the law of leftovers, actually. I don't know how necessary this is, but I might as well do it. If you look at the top 4 rows of the grid, if I just quickly sketch those in, I think we could agree, couldn't we, that those 4 rows are going to contain the digits 1 to 9 once each. Now if you study those rows for a moment, you'll see that we've got this region and this region entirely within those first 2 rows, and almost all of blue and almost all of black. The only digits that stick out from blue and black are this 5 and this 8. So if this 5 and this 8 had been in the top 4 rows, we'd have been absolutely perfect, but they've sort of been missed out, haven't they? So they have to be replenished in the top 4 rows by the pink, which is poking in. That's going to have to supply the missing 5 and the missing 8 to those top 4 rows, so that digit's a 5. It's probably unnecessary, but I saw it, so let's talk about it if we see it. Now, has that helped me? Don't know. I feel like... No, nearly. Oh, where's 4 in row 3? That's just placed. I didn't spot that. So 4 is in a domino in box 1, or box 1, column 1, the red region. Oh no, that was a bad question again. Where is... I don't know, actually. I'm not seeing anything very easy now. Let's look at this column. We need 4s, 5s and 8s to finish it. I'll tell you something. Have I used all my clues? That is probably worth checking. I think I might have done now, though. That can't be a 4. It sees 4 in its column. There's definitely an 8 in this domino for what that's worth. 5, 6, 7, 8 into this column. So 6 is definitely in this domino in column 8. Oh dear, I might be getting stuck. Never mind. I think hopefully it might take me a while, but in the end I'll probably be able to solve this. Now we might get a 3 in the corner. There's a 3 in one of those 2 cells in row 1 because the 3 can't go in these 2 cells. 2, 3, 5, 7. Yeah, that corner digit is actually only able to be 2 or 3. Right, where do you think we go now? Column... Let's have a look at column 1. 2, 3, 4, 8. So this is 2, 3 or 8. No, that's terrible. I refuse to even pencil mark that. Let's check column 2. 3, 5, 7, 8. Again, it doesn't feel like that's the one that's the most restricted, does it? Is it more law of leftovers stuff then? It could be. This digit's restricted. In the column, that's 2, 3, 4 or 5, I think. In the row, it can't be 5 or 4, but it sees 3 in its box, so that's a naked single 2. I mean, that might do things, you know. 3 and 7 can go in. Now, what about this row then? What do we need in it? We need 6 and 8. Yeah, where's 8 in row 3? That might have been a better question to ask. But I think we can fill all that in. Now these squares are 5 and 7, and we know the order. So 7 and 5 go in. This is no longer a 5. In this column we haven't put 3 or 4 in. So we've got a 3, 4 pair. In the top row we need 2s and 3s. Oh, we're very close to a 3 in the corner. These are 5, 7, 8. So that's a naked single. Has to be an 8. Looks like the 5 and the 7 are still ambiguous. And this is 2, 3 and 4 to place. Okay, so that's not 2. That one, don't know. Not sure. That 2, oh no! I'm not going to get a 3 in the corner. I was sure we were, but no, we don't. That 2 seems to be putting the 2 in the corner. Naughty digit. Okay, so now we've got a 3, 4 pair in this row, look. So that could be of relevance. 2 is placed in the red region, it has to go there. So we need 5, 7 and 8. So 7 is placed, 8 is placed, 5 is placed, 5 is 7 are placed. Okay, this might be it. 5 is not here. Oh, this row should be done. Have I made a mistake in this row? Oh no, I think we're still okay. 4, 4, 3, 3, 4, 5, 3. We've got a 5, 8 pair, and that's 8, and that's 5, and we've finished. That is absolutely brilliant. I think it felt right. Yes, it felt right. Oh my goodness, look how old this is. It's nearly a year old. It's nearly its birthday. Oh well, that's great. What a lovely puzzle to do on a puzzle's birthday. Nearly. Myxo, that was so good. That is such an original idea. I loved the thing at the beginning about the perimeter. It's magical that you can sort of corral this orange region into a 3x3 in order to allow a region here that must exist in the puzzle, because otherwise there's too many breaks in the perimeter. It's sort of a weird yin-yang-y type argument. It's super, super original and absolutely brilliant. Let me know in the comments how you got on with the puzzle. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.